Clements, welcome to my video blog. Today we're talking about diet, a hugely important component in human and environmental health, potentially one of the biggest challenges we face today as a global village is diet. So because it's such a complex topic, unfortunately, we're going to break it down into two polarities. We have diet applying, which is the ability to apply a good diet to yourself. That in itself is quite complex, and we'll save that for another video. So today we're talking about diet knowing. We're talking about what is a good, healthy diet that's going to give you the most energy and vitality and health for your life. So it's a little bit simpler than you may think. It really breaks down to three parameters, as you can see. So the first parameter we have is organic food. Now, to understand the value of organic food, you really have to understand the farming practices between organic farmers and commercial farmers. Otherwise, we just see it as a price difference in the supermarket. And unfortunately, we treat food as a commodity, not a necessity, which it is. So, organic farmers use no chemicals, and commercial farmers use chemicals. So why do commercial farmers use chemicals? Well, because they have to. And why do they have to? Well, what happens is when you put an apple tree, say a whole bunch of apple trees on a small block of land, all these apple trees compete for the same nutrients. When you have all these apple trees competing for the same nutrients, it depletes the soil very quickly. It takes all the nutrients out of the soil. And so the farmers fertilize with your standard fertilizers, which contain nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, carbon, the basic building blocks for plant life. However, often what happens is they miss out zinc, manganese, magnesium, iron, copper, all these micronutrients which give a plant its immune system. So if a plant doesn't have the nutrients to support a good immune system, they get sick, much like us humans. Funny that. So when you have a sick crop or a sick orchard of apple trees, it looks like a crop that's covered in fungus and parasites, and the fruit is small and not that great. And so what commercial farmers do is they use herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, and plant growth hormones to essentially medicate their crops to produce what looks like a good apple, but has really come from a sick tree and has low nutritional value. And remember, you are what you eat, so eat sick food, be a sick person. The people who have done great research on the value of organic food to human and environmental health are the likes of Weston A. Price, Innes Pearce, and Lady Eve Balfour. If you're considering making the switch from commercial food to organic food, I'd highly recommend you check out these people. They've done fantastic research on the difference between commercial and organic food. The other parameter we have is raw food. You often hear the caveman diet or the raw food diet are terms used by some people these days. So most of the research on raw food was actually done in the 1940s. They found that when people's diets consisted of 50% plus raw food, the incidence rate of disease dropped dramatically compared to a diet that had less than 50% raw food in their diet. So it's a very standout aspect of diet. So we have to understand why is raw food so important in our health. Well, one way to view it is enzymes. Enzymes are a very important part of our metabolism. And when you cook a food, you essentially kill the enzymes within that food. So if you don't have the enzymes coming into our body, we have a hindered metabolism, and a hindered metabolism over a period of time leads to disease. The other way to view the value of raw food is frequency. All living things give off a certain frequency. Everything's made up of energy. So you'd expect the frequency of an organism to be influenced by the frequency of the food going into the organism. Quite simple, really. So if you had a commercially grown banana that was picked 6 weeks ago and has been sitting on the supermarket shelf ever since, very low frequency, goes into the organism, is going to bring the frequency of that organism down. As opposed to something like fresh organic blueberries, chuck that into the organism and the frequency is going to go up, the health of the organism is going to go up. It's pretty simple. The other factor, or other parameter in a good diet is working out your metabolism type. Now, metabolic typing is a whole trademark system in itself, and there are other systems that work around it or are similar to it. Most systems work on a type of questionnaire to figure out what kind of metabolism you have. The types that they generally put you into are equator type diets or carbohydrate based metabolisms. Mixed, where you can fluctuate between equator and polar type, and polar is also known as a protein based metabolism. From working out what type of metabolism you have, it helps you indicate what your macronutrient ratio is, whether you're protein dominant or whether you're carbohydrate dominant. Nutrients that need to be in your diet for optimal metabolism. It also helps you work out your ideal meal timing throughout the day, whether you have lots of protein early in the day, late in the day, carbohydrates, lots of small meals throughout the day, 3 big meals throughout the day and that's it, all of those sorts of things, which is very valuable and has a big sway into the efficiency and quality of your metabolism and your health. Also, all the metabolic typing systems encourage you to listen to your body. End of the day, it's your body that will tell you what you are craving because it needs whatever nutrients from that food. In saying that, if you do have a parasite or a fungal infection in your gut, that can influence your types of cravings, and we'll save that topic for another video as well. So I hope this has helped you with your diet. I'm Ryan Clements. Keep being.